What's up, guys? It's Gabe here. Haven't posted in a long time. Haven't shown you guys my Camaro, but this video isn't about my Durango or my Camaro. This video is actually about my Trans Am. If you follow me on Instagram, if you've followed me for a long time, you've probably seen stuff about it. But I have a shit ton of parts here, and I want to go over them, and I also want to break down kind of what the build is, what's going on with it, and most importantly, the cost to this. Because I've always wanted to make a street car, like a no prep car, since I was a kid. When I was like 12 or 13, I actually got an internship at a speed shop for a summer, and that shit changed my life. And then also when I was a little bit older, I used to go to no prep events that were like near me, and some big ones in the tri-state area. So I've just always been in love with it. And honestly, right now I am $0 out of pocket. Yeah, I'm still up $150 on everything, but I want to kind of go through the numbers and show you too, if you wanted to do it yourself, how much it could cost you if you're just buying everything yourself. So first things first, to start out, it's a 1993 Trans Am WS6. So not a lot of people know that in 1993 the WS6 came out, but it is first year of production. It wasn't as fancy as the 98 to 01, so it didn't have the rear emblem. It wasn't as beefed up, but it was more of a suspension, brake, and rear package, I believe. But it's on the build tag that's on all the Chevy cars. I can show you guys when I'm at my garage and show you the car. It's also an LT1 car that came with a T56. I ripped both of them out, and I got a 4L60 right here and an LM7 block at my other garage. Let's talk about how I got it and how I'm $0 out of pocket. I traded an 01 Tahoe for it. That thing was beat to shit. It had electrical problems, the AC, the blender door, the heater core was all clogged, like everything you could think of. I spent a lot of money on it though. Did have brake lines all around done. It was a strong LM7 in it. That 4L60 never really gave me a problem. I think my transfer case blew one time and I threw a drive shaft, but it's real cheap to fix those, so it really wasn't that much of a problem. But I traded the 01 Tahoe for it. The guy, I think he had it listed for $1,500. So I'm gonna go off of the number $1,500 and kind of tell you what I did after that. So I got the car, and then I mainly did body work. So right now it is all primered up. It's ready to get painted. I'm actually going to paint it black to match my Camaro, so I could have a 4th and 6th gen F body, because I'm retarded like that and think it's the coolest thing ever. But say you spent the $1,500. So I sold the drivetrain and I sold the ECU out of the LT1. The ECU sell for a good amount of money. I think I sold mine for $650, but I'm going to talk about the price or the dollar amount that was put into my pocket, because I sold that on eBay. So after fees, that was $554. In the LT1 and T56, I did sell for $1250. Some of you might think that's cheap, but for me, I wanted a quick sale, and I came up $1,800 off of that, right? So from there, I had $300 profit. But like I said, it wasn't really costing me, so I just had this money. But then I was able to buy my LM7 for $300. Came with like 2 water pumps, some aux fans, extra oil coolers, a high pressure fuel pump, a bunch of goodies. This guy was sick. I think it might have been $350, but here nor there. LM7 iron block, truck intake. He did throw in an LS3 throttle body, so that was pretty sick too. But from there, I got the 4L60, which I'm going to show you guys either in this video or another video. Got my 4L60 for $200. So from there, all the other parts that I want to show you guys all together costed me $1038, right? Something else I have coming on the way is, actually I have some more stuff. I have gaskets coming in, and my motor mounts are coming in. So the motor mounts were $305. So if we're talking about you spent $1,500, you sold all those parts, and then to get all of these parts, right now we are at $1,538. There's a lot more stuff I want to do to the car. There's little odds and ends I have to get. There's more tools I have to get. Like a harmonic balancer puller, and I have to get a new hydraulic for my cherry picker. Stupid stuff, but I think honestly it's gonna take like an extra $500 to get together, so we're talking about $2,000. And the reason I want to tell you about all these numbers is because I'm planning to make 400 horsepower. So I got cam, lifter, springs, new push rods, I got headers, my transmission has a Corvette servo and a high stall torque converter. Trying to think of like all the other cool shit I have. but I'm also throwing on MLS gaskets. I got Fel-pro head bolts coming in. So it's a pretty solid build, what I'd say. With it being a 10-bolt car, that's going to be insanely weak. So that's not why I'm trying to go too much crazy. But I kind of want to show everybody you can build a badass car for really cheap, especially with how light they weigh. So from there, let's get on to some of these parts. All right, let's go over the heart of this build. It is an Elgin 1840p, also known as a sloppy stage 2 cam. And of course it's not from Elgin, dude, it's from eBay. And I'm gonna show you how sick this is. If you know, you know. You know, these Chinese cams, especially the Elgin style, the sloppy stage 2 style, has been produced so many times. People do hardness tests and they measure out the lobe, and they're pretty solid cams. But with that, I actually did this last night. We got new Elgin lifters. Then we also got trays with them, so that's pretty sick. We also have Pack 1218 springs. And then we also have brand new new style valve stem seals. So that's pretty cool. We also have Elgin push rods in here. So that's sick. New timing bolt. New gaskets are in there. So that was $160 shipped with a 3-year warranty. So I want to let that sink in. That alone is going to make almost any LS at least 400 horsepower. And that's a conservative number. I'd say like 389 on the low end. Probably wheel, right? But I think I'm going to have enough supporting mods to be able to get to that 400. So next I'll show you guys my headers. Boy, nothing fancy. Oh shit, I can't see them too good, but you know, cast boys, nothing insane. But these are the swap headers, so shorties, right? And they're gonna wrap right under the block to be able to make sure that I'm not gonna have any fitment issues. Because if you did not know, that also comes with bolts, which is a pretty cool thing. I think it was $105 shipped, so with the hardware, it's pretty nice to have. If you did not know, pre-98 F bodies are a bitch to LS swap. It's not until a few years ago that it became more of a viable thing, because before that, if you wanted to, you'd have to buy either a brand new K-member used out of an LS car like a 98 plus, or you'd have to get a tubular K-member, which is like, that's a bunch of money too. But now Hooker makes the black heart mounts, which are awesome because they use this oil pan, which I'll unbox for you guys now. It is a 302-2 oil pan. This is our 302-2 oil pan. Like I said, real cheap. All this stuff you can pretty much get off of eBay. And it also comes with the new oil pump lines. This is another gem I found on eBay. So this is the relocation kit for the alternator and the power steering pump. So it gives it that Camaro style for the hood fitment, even though it's a truck motor and it has the truck accessories. So that's a steal. That's about $78, I want to say. Real cheap. Usually they're like 100 and something. And I think the ones that are a little more expensive are usually polished and stuff. But that's pretty nice. That's nice enough, especially for the money. I'll save the $30. I could polish it myself. Here are the cursed plugs and wires. I'm a sick ass foo, so I have to make sure that I have Gucci wires. The plugs are... Oh, where the fuck are the plugs at? Oh, they're the plugs. I'm not gonna mess with this too much. Like I said, this is $30. I really wouldn't recommend anyone to get this. Just mine didn't come with it, so I just want to make sure it runs right. If I have misfires, I know it's gonna be because of this, and I'll change it out. I want to say prediction. Transmission shifter cable for an F body. Yes, sir. Pretty sure, I thought I got this used, but this is pretty nice. This had to be, these get expensive. Not expensive, but it's like, compared to spark plugs and wires, like $50 to $70 for this cable. But, good for me. My 4L60 is sitting right here. So I'm gonna tuck this back in, and when I need to use it, I'm gonna take it out. Yep, my motor didn't come with a valley cover, so I had to get one of these. Check if it's new. Nah, it's not new. New valley cover. Odds and ends, just like the spark plug. And of course, building an LS, it's going to vary a lot in price. If yours comes with a 4L60, then you're winning, especially if your car comes with a 4L60, it's going to be a lot easier for you. Things like the valley cover, usually an LS has valley covers and knock sensors, but I had to buy that. Plugs and wires, if you can have that thrown in too, you're going to save a bit of money and not have as much spent as me. Oh, here's our shifter. Look at this bad boy. And a ShopRite bag. It's pretty sick. This bad boy, huh? Nice and simple, no bullshit. Because they have, yep. A little bit of a bitch to go forward, but nothing some oil won't fix up. Some of them have the extra cable that's for the steering lock, but I don't give a fuck about that. So this was like 50 bucks or something. Usually they're like 80 bucks. Hey, look at this, this is fine. Sick. I'm probably gonna put the cable in the same box as that so I can just keep that shit together. I totally didn't tell you guys about this the whole entire time, but this is one of the coolest parts of the build. Something I was gonna say before too is, like I said, you're gonna save money if you have your 4L60 in it. You're gonna save money if you have a lot of the parts in it. But I really do like hot rodding, so if I could take the whole thing apart and then have the parts on my bench like I do now and just build it over time, that's kind of cool to me. So part of that is, whoosh, look at this baby, man. This is a GMC Envoy and Trailblazer torque converter, but it's remanufactured. The fins are hardened and welded together. Its stock stall speed is 18 to 2000, but I hear the flash speed is around 3200. So with this cam, this converter, the Corvette servo that's in here, I should be able to get really good launches in this trans, even though it's glass and I have a 10 bolt, I should be able to do some cool shit with that. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update, show you some of the parts that came in, the progress, what's going on. But most importantly, I kind of want to video more of this build and kind of show everybody that you can build a really badass car. Because like I said before, I'm still not out of pocket. I'm about to come out of pocket $150 for my On3 stand-up rad. Other than that, rad hoses. Like I said, I had to spend some money on odds and ends. But honestly, I do enjoy having to get the parts because then I could do stuff like this and just build my trans myself. So next is going to be the wiring harness, ECU, EGR, block off. I think I already said coolant hoses. I have to get a new fuel pressure regulator, but I'm going to get one from a C5, so it's going to be real cheap. The odds and ends, I'm really planning to spend another $500 to $800. And this car should be running. And like you guys are seeing, cam, lifter, springs, high stall torque converter, Corvette servo, all that cool shit, you know. So I'm going to show you guys some more updates in the future, but stay tuned.